A secured environment is the bedrock upon which businesses thrive, investments flourish, and livelihoods are sustained. Conversely, on the flip side, economic stability reduces vulnerabilities to crime and extremism. As senior officers, your leadership in championing community-centered approaches will directly catalyze this virtuous circle. By prioritizing dialogue, cultural sensitivity, and partnerships with local stakeholders, we can dismantle the roots of insecurity, from insurgency, communal crisis, banditry, kidnapping, to cybercrime, and unlock Nigeria's vast economic potentials. This retreat offers a unique opportunity to step back from the front lines, recalibrate strategies, and embrace innovative frameworks. Let us use this moment to critically assess our approaches, share lessons from the field, and recommit to policing that is both proactive and compassionate. To the organizers, particularly the Inspector General of Police, IGP Olukayode Egbetokun, PhD, I applaud your vision in creating this platform for collaboration. To the officers and other stakeholders, the challenges we face are daunting but not insurmountable. Let this retreat ignite bold ideas, foster cross-sector synergy, and reaffirm our resolve to serve as guardians of justice and enablers of prosperity. As we deliberate, remember that the communities we protect are counting on us. Let us live here not only with refined strategies, but with a renewed pledge to uphold the dignity, rights, and aspirations of every Nigerian. Together, we will build a safer, more prosperous nation. Thank you, and may this retreat yield transformative outcomes for our beloved country. Happy deliberations. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. My name is Oke Bakasi. Most people know me as actor, comedian, and event host. But one of the things that I do on the side is research. Recently, I've concluded a research project on the effect of alcohol on marriages in a dwindling economy. And it will amaze you to know some of our findings that, contrary to popular belief that some reasonable percentage of marriages are surviving because of alcohol, some of the men interviewed did indeed show that stopping over at the drinking bar before going home after work has reduced domestic violence. So we are still working on this research. But the one I'm currently doing now is the positive impacts of the sugar daddy economy, a case study of Nigeria and African women. And the next person I'm about to call is one of the people that we have penned down to go to for some research findings. And I'm talking about the highest ranking police officer in Kenya. Ladies and gentlemen, please, at this point, I'd like to invite the IGP of Kenya, IGP Douglas Kiracho, please. You're welcome, sir, to give us your goodwill message.
Thank you very much for the invitation. And in the interest of time, let me go straight. I say, His Excellency, the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, who is ably represented by the Vice President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Excellencies, senior government officials present with us here this afternoon, the Executive Governor of Ogun State present with us here this afternoon, all the senior commanders from the police force of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, the Inspector General, and my very good friend. Thank you very much for inviting me here this afternoon. The Inspector General in charge of the police of the Republic of Rwanda, my very, very, very good friend, Felix. Thank you very much. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. Your Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, I am deeply honored to join you today and also to have an opportunity to address the esteemed gathering assembled for the Strategic Security Conference retreat for the senior police officers in Nigeria. First and foremost, I bring you greetings from the National Police Service of the Republic of Kenya and the people of Kenya. For many years, Kenya and Nigeria have enjoyed cordial mutual relationships, seeking common good for the citizens and benefiting from the strength of partnership. And today, congregation, therefore, is yet another key opportunity to fortify these relationships. During the 5th Media Coordination Meeting of the African Union held in July 2023 in Nairobi, I recall that there were deliberations between African Union heads of state and government regarding the need to conduct joint exercises and for training security agencies, particularly in surveillance of our respective borders in the wake of terrorism and other transnational crimes. Furthermore, the such meeting held last year underscored, among other things, the need to promote cooperation aimed at improving the standards of living for the African citizens, maintain and foster close and peaceful relationships among African Union member states, and enhance economic stability. The above intentions are in line with the African Union vision of an integrated, prosperous, and peaceful Africa driven by its own citizens and representing a dynamic force in the global arena. To further domesticate and actualize this African Union vision in the policy context, African Union heads of state and government adopted the African Union Mechanism for Police Cooperation Statute in the year 2014, thus enabling and establishing the AFRIPOL, which I am the chairman as at now. The mechanism was established as a framework for police cooperation at strategic, operational, and tactical levels. Currently, key focus areas for the mechanisms are the fight against transnational organized crimes, terrorism, and cyber crimes. From the foregoing, this security conference and retreat, it is perfectly placed and well grounded on the African Union vision, the objectives and the objects of the AFRIPOL, and also the strategic goals of the Nigerian police force. For this, I congratulate the Inspector General of the Police, my good friend IGP Kayonde, for this very important initiative. As the president of AFRIPOL, I applaud IGP Kayonde, who has been a very resourceful representative in his capacity as an Inspector General and also as the chairman of the West African Police Chiefs Committee, the WAPCO. I have no doubt that the Nigerian Police Force, WAPCO, AFRIPOL, and other policing organizations are set to benefit from his apt leadership. I acknowledge that this would never have been possible without due support from the government of Nigeria. I also appreciate the collective support we continue to receive from our respective governments and the regional policing bodies and also the African Union Mechanism for Police Cooperation, the AFRIPOL. Based on the resolutions from the AFRIPOL Extraordinary General Assembly held virtually in November last year, we resolved to amend the AFRIPOL's structure and statutes to get the mechanism grow into an organ of the African Union. This will enable AFRIPOL to execute its mandate effectively, and I do rally for needful support from heads of states and governments towards this goal. To the senior police officers attending the conference, I congratulate you for having been granted the opportunity to serve humanity, and also for earning your promotions to the various levels of the police command. This conference themed improving Nigeria's internal security and economic prosperity through inclusive policing, providing an opportunity to better your competencies individually and collectively as an organization. It is an opportunity to run alternative policing approaches, to interact and share experiences, and also to challenge each other in coming up with the policing solutions to match the contemporary security challenges. We all know that security is an integral part of socio-economic development, sustainable peace and security. The relevant agencies, including police officers, are primarily mandated to maintain public safety and order, which creates a conducive environment for businesses to operate, to attract investments and foster community growth by ensuring that citizens feel secure enough to participate actively in economic activities, pursue education, and generally contribute to the well-being of their society. Your input in the equation, therefore, colleagues, cannot be overstated. The only concern is how can you better the policing services? The call for inclusive policing is one major bold step in the right direction. This approach entails professional service and reflection of the communities served by the police. These are areas all our policing organizations in Africa are working to improve on, including matters, police reforms and transformation, gender mainstreaming, culture change, betterment of police welfare, and also equitable recruitment and placement. One of the key benefits from inclusive policing is a situation whereby communities get policed by consent. From inclusive policing, police get natural support from the communities. They benefit from the wide range of perspectives and experiences and also become better equipped to understand and respond to unique and dynamic security challenges. I therefore encourage you to take full advantage of this conference and retreat, bearing in mind that other levels of the police force look up to you for leadership and command. We are all called upon to continuously better the competencies and tune individuals' attitude and character for improved service delivery. I am sure that when the retreat concludes, the officers gathered here will have to serve their country full of vigor and patriotism. On matters security, the world has become a global village thanks to infrastructural and technological advancement. The world is currently more interconnected than ever before, and so it has been for criminal activities. To address the challenge, we must remain committed to strengthening and harmonizing the capacities of the law enforcement agencies in our member states. We should reform cooperation and collaboration in the prevention and fight against crime under AFRIPOL, we continue to build partnerships with regional and international law enforcement agencies, including Interpol, so as to synergize our efforts in combating the security threats. As I conclude, I take this opportunity to appreciate the warm welcome and the reception accorded to us upon arrival, as well as the gracious hospitality that we have enjoyed throughout our stay. On behalf of my delegation, I thank you once again. I believe that the knowledge, experience, and expertise shared during the meeting will provide new tractions and generate new pathways to tackling crime and the other law enforcement challenges, not only in Nigeria, but also for the benefits of the entire continent. Finally, may the boards created during the 5th edition of the Strategic Conference and the Retreat for the senior police officers in Nigeria remain critical pillars for future partnerships and collaborations. I thank you.
Goodwill message from the Inspector General of the Kenya National Police, Mr. Douglas Kirocho. He doubles as the chairperson of AfriPol. Please can we put our hands together for him one more time, ladies and gentlemen. Your Excellency, Mr. Vice President, very distinguished ladies and gentlemen, we want to acknowledge very quickly the presence in our midst of the Executive Secretary of the Police Trust Fund, Mr. Saidu Muhammad. Can we please put our hands together for him? It's a pleasure to have you. Thank you very much. Was one of the first people to get in here. Thank you. And of course, we recognize also the National Chairman of the PCRC, Alhaji Mogaji Ibrahim Olaniyan. Thank you very much. Please put your hands together for him. Your Excellencies, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, for those who have just joined, especially those who are watching live, this event is being carried on live television channels, AIT channels, NTA, and also TVC. So we have an audience that actually goes beyond the people who are seated right here. We don't even want to talk about those who are watching the live streams online on the official page of the Nigeria Police Force and a few other associated pages. We welcome you and we thank you one more time. We, of course, are going to take one or two more messages of goodwill, and then we listen to His Excellency the Governor, and then, of course, the special guest of honor at this event. At this point, permit me to invite, after having listened to the chairperson of AfriPol, that we also listen to the gentleman who presides over the East Africa Police Chiefs Corporation. He himself is the Inspector General of Police of Rwanda, Commissioner General Felix Namuhorunye. Please put your hands together for him as he comes forward for his message of goodwill. Thank you.
Your Excellency, President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, ably represented by the Vice President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Excellencies, I associate myself with the protocols as previously highlighted, Executive Governor of the state, my brother, Inspector General of Police of Nigeria and Inspector General of Police of Kenya. I am honored and privileged to have been invited to this beautiful and great country and for the opportunity to speak to the 5th edition of Senior Police Officers Conference. I am pleased to be with you as you share insights and in-depth discussions on improving Nigeria's internal security and economic prosperity through inclusive policing. This theme is highly significant, relevant, timely, and resonates well with the security concerns not only in Nigeria, but also in Africa. Indeed, we all recognize the fact that development can only take place on a strong foundation of peace and security. As law enforcement officers, we have a crucial role in fostering peaceful conditions within which our citizens can fully participate in the journey for their socio-economic well-being. In the modern, integrated political and economic setting, our core mission as police dictates that we constantly and consistently seek solutions to improve security of our people, to pave way for economic prosperity. As we gather here, we are reminded that internal security lies at the forefront of our nation's stability. No law enforcement organ can strive without the participation, the trust, and the collaboration of the communities they serve. Therefore, inclusive policing is not just a moral obligation, it is a requirement. Inclusive policing is both inclusiveness in the police force and inclusiveness in policing. It builds community engagement and trust, which is the basis of collaboration that law enforcement agencies need in order to effectively prevent and respond to crime. When police partners with the community, information on crime will flow freely. Citizens will take collective ownership of their security. It is worth noting that internal security and economic prosperity are deeply intertwined. A secure environment is conducive for economic development. Let me emphasize that it is our responsibility to create an environment where every individual feels safe and encouraged and engaged to contribute to the well-being of our societies. We should create a situation where people are able to take their safety and security for granted. It is my belief that we will conclude this conference with a renewed commitment to enhancing inclusive policing practices that foster internal security and stimulate economic prosperity. Finally, I reiterate Rwanda National Police and East African Police Chiefs Cooperation Organization readiness to partnering with Nigeria Police Force and WAPCO in various areas of policing, including but not limited to capacity building, sharing of experiences, and exchange of information. I thank you very much.
Commissioner General Felix Namuhoroye of the Republic of Rwanda. Can we please put our hands together for him, ladies and gentlemen? Your Excellencies, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, the Inspector General of Police of Nigeria, in the course of his speech, alluded to the fact that cooperation, especially among security agencies on the African continent, is very important, which is the reason why these two police chiefs, one from Afripol and of course the other from EAPCCO, have come to share their thoughts and also their experiences. Because the names of the countries may change, but sometimes in Africa, the security challenges are a little bit similar. So there could be a whole lot for us to learn from each other, especially considering the very important role that the police plays in our lives. I'm sure that the people who are watching would know that without the police, we would basically not have a functional society. They're the ones who stay awake so that very many of us can sleep. They're the ones who stand on the road so that we can drive through those roads safely. They're the ones whom we call to go to danger when we are running away from that danger ourselves. Ladies and gentlemen, everyone who appreciates the work of the police, please put your hands together for them one more time. At this point, I'm going to invite for a brief message of goodwill, and I've been assured it's going to be very brief. A gentleman who has a task of ensuring that the Niger Delta Development Commission, which he heads, the Niger Delta region of this country, actually benefits from, of course, all of the contribution that they make to the Nigerian state. He is the managing director of the Niger Delta Development Commission, a very strategic partner with the Nigeria Police and this event. Allow me to say, as someone who lives and works in the Niger Delta, that the period of service of this gentleman has witnessed quite a lot of improvement in the mandate and quite a lot of development in the activities of the NDDC in the Niger Delta. For his message of goodwill at CASPO 2025, please make welcome Dr. Samuel Obuku, MD, NDDC. Please put your hands together for him, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you.
Your Excellency, the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, GCFR, ably represented by the Vice President of Nigeria, Senator Kashim Shettima, GCON, the Governor of Ogun State and his deputy, the Chairman of the House Committee, the Inspector General of Police and the Inspector General of Police of Kenya and Rwanda. Please, at this point, let me also recognize head of other security agencies, and let me just rest on the well-established protocol. I'm actually going to make it very, very brief. I'm only just here in solidarity with the Nigerian police force for the fact that we have to say thank you for accepting to undertake this serious job of police in Nigeria. Thank you in the sense that it is a very major sacrifice you're making. So many of your men have lost their lives. Many people do not talk about their families for those who have lost their lives. The Nigerian police force is having barely about 370,000 men, policing a population of about 230 million persons. That tells you how serious the job is. But the Nigerian police force, most time, is being underappreciated. Sometimes you go through the social media, people cast aspersion on the Nigerian police force, people demonize them, people criminalize them. But we are here to say thank you because you're doing a good job. When you calculate the maths of 370,000 persons policing about 230 million persons, you will know that yes, the job is not easy. Yet Nigeria is still peaceful. Nigeria is still one. That is to say, these men and officers have done a very great job. The theme of this event is improving Nigerians' internal security and economic prosperity through inclusive policing. Inclusive policing has to do with all of us. So when you say the police is failing, you also ask yourself, how are you contributing to the security of Nigeria? So inclusive policing means all of us are police in one way or the other. Inclusive policing, do you report crime when you see crime, or do you aid the crime? If the police do not have information, how do they also protect you? How do they also secure you? So the police only works with information. So everybody, wherever you are, you also have the responsibility to provide that information to the Nigerian police force. But for this retreat and conference, we believe that it is going to bring about renewed vigor in terms of police in Nigeria, fresh ideas, review of previous activities which we know will bring about sustainable policies for the policing of Nigeria. But if I may want to suggest, part of the things that the Nigerian police force should consider, knowing the enormity of job that the Nigerian police force has, I want to suggest that the Nigerian police force should always carry out periodic vetting and evaluation of its men and officers. Because sometimes you must understand that some of the persons that give the police force bad name, sometimes they do it for selfish reason. It is not because it was something that the police force conspired to do. So continuous vetting and evaluation is very, very important. Then secondly, I also want to suggest the Nigerian police force should also invest in its men, the area of their mental health, because you must also ensure that you subject most of our men and officers to psychological check and also psychiatric check, because some of the people who carry these guns policing us, you don't know the challenges they have that probably leads them to commit some offenses or crimes. But when we do this periodically, it will always enable us to know those who are the good eggs amongst us and those who are drifting. So it will now balance a situation whereby the police force would not be having those kind of bad names. But however, for us, it is not only coming here to say thank you. The NDDC in the past have supported the Nigerian police force in the area of operational vehicles, in the area of housing. The NDDC have done that. Recently, the NDDC have decided to undertake building, constructing of 60 kVA solar inverters for all the state command offices in the 9 states of the region, which we have already done in Imo State. The other remaining 8 states have also been given out and they will soon have it, but Imo State has been done. Recently, we also supplied communication gadgets to the River State Police Command and also repaired the mast that had failed before. In addition to that, we also repaired the failed APCs in Bayelsa and River State, and also in Bayelsa State, we just donated 6 250 Yamaha engine, 250 horsepower Yamaha outboard engine, and also rehabilitated 6 of their boats, which 2 were converted to ballistic, to also help in curbing crime in the Niger Delta. So for us, as NDDC, we are willing to partner more with security agencies because we believe as an interventionist agency, without security, there will be no development. So development and security are intertwined. So for us, we believe in partnering and supporting security agencies. Thank you, and I wish you a very fruitful deliberation.
Thank you very much. The Managing Director of the Niger Delta Development Commission, Dr. Samuel Obuku, for your message of goodwill And of course, it is very instructive to note that the NDDC MD has spoken, not just talking, but he has of course indicated that the organization he leads is walking the talk. And he has given us very tangible contributions that the Niger Delta Development Commission under his leadership has made in contributing to the security of this country. I think that deserves another round of applause. Please put your hands together for him. Your Excellency, Mr. Vice President, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, we will take another message of goodwill at this point, and it is going to come from the gentleman who plays a complementary role as far as the security agencies in this country is concerned. Somebody wrote an article the other day in the newspaper and asked if the police is their friend, what is the EFCC? I think it is a question that the chairman of the EFCC may want to answer when he comes up here for his message of goodwill. So, ladies and gentlemen, may I please request that we put our hands together as I invite the executive chairman of the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission to come forward and present his message of goodwill on this occasion. Please put your hands together for him as he comes. Thank you.
Well, to answer the MC, I'm going to follow the footsteps of Okebakasi. Yes, it's settled quarrels between husband and wife when it comes to financial dealings. Thank you. Your Excellency, the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, ably represented by His Excellency, the Vice President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Senator Kashim, GCON, the Executive Governor of Ogun State, His Excellency, Prince Dapo Abeokuta, MON, the Inspector General of Police, the IGP, Mr. Kayode Egbetokun, PhD. Your Excellency, please permit me to reveal my shortcoming and my challenge here. I'm very poor at establishing long protocol. So the entire esteemed guests here seated this afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, I'm privileged to be here on the invitation of my good brother, the IGP. As EFCC, representative of EFCC, we always identify ourselves with the Nigerian police. And I want to thank the Nigerian police for laying a very solid foundation for Economic and Financial Crimes Commission. Very solid foundation. It should be noted that most specialized agencies in Nigeria came out from specialized law enforcement agencies in Nigeria, came up from Nigerian police. That must always be recognized. So I want to thank you, the Nigerian police, for laying a good foundation that we are building on. For us in AFCC, we have decided to continue to collaborate and synergize with the Nigerian police in the area of prevention of financial crimes, investigation where one has taken place, and prosecution. Particularly, we have identified ourselves with the very serious mandate of recovery of process of crime. Stimulating the economy is something that we take very seriously as part of the theme of this conference. And that's why I've made my way here to identify with this conference. So on behalf of the entire management and staff of EFCC, I want to congratulate the IGP and I also tell you and I reassure you of our solid support and commitment to the shared mandate. I want to also wish you a very successful conference. Thank you very much and God bless you all.
Thank you very much, sir. If the police is your friend, the EFCC is also your friend. There used to be a time when I would lobby the EFCC to include my name in their wanted list. Because at that time, if you want to blow, you know what we mean? When in Nigeria, when we say you don't blow, that means you've become very big. There was a time if you wanted to blow and become big politically, your name has to be on EFCC wanted list. That means your local government will not be afraid that you have the kind of money that can survive any election. So then if you wanted to go into politics, you just lobby them. I was going to run for office then. I didn't have connection to EFCC. I wanted them to just put my name on their wanted list that I have siphoned 2-point-something billion, you know. Then my local government will be thinking maybe I'm hiding the money. When I win, I'll bring it out. But under his administration, if they put your name on that list, you're in trouble. Because everybody is now afraid. You're doing a good job, sir, and we appreciate you. Thank you very much for your service. Yeah. To talk to us next, Your Excellencies, is the Executive Secretary, Police Trust Fund. So please, if your hands are busy, please let me appreciate him, Mr. Saidu Mohammed, as he comes forward. And I'm hoping he will keep it brief for us. Thank you very much.
Your Excellency, the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, ably represented here today by Vice President Senator Kashim Shettima, Your Excellency, the Governor of Ogun State, Prince Dapo Abeokuta, the Inspector General of Police, Dr. Kayode Adeola, and the Inspector Generals of Police from Rwanda and Kenya here today. Permit me, Your Excellency, to stand on all existing protocols. It is an honor to stand here before you today at this pivotal retreat where we deliberate on a subject that is not only critical to our nation's security but also fundamental to our economic future, improving Nigeria's internal security and economic prosperity through inclusive policing. For me, this is more than just a professional duty. It is a lifelong passion coming from a policing background. I have witnessed firsthand the sacrifices made by the men and women of the Nigerian police force. I have seen the resilience of the officers committed to protecting lives and property, often with limited resources. It is in this perspective my work as the Executive Secretary of the Nigerian Police Fund. Security and economic prosperity are two sides of the same coin. Without security, businesses cannot thrive, investments cannot flow, and communities cannot prosper. Inclusive policing, where citizens and law enforcement collaborate in a framework of trust, accountability, and mutual respect, is the key to achieving both. Countries that have successfully built strong economies have done so on the foundation of a secure environment. Investors need assurance that their assets and personnel are protected. Farmers must feel safe in their trade. Traders must also be able to move goods freely. This is why policing must go beyond enforcement. It must be a proactive, community-centered approach that instills confidence in the people. Inclusive policing is about making law enforcement a shared responsibility. It is about ensuring that policing is not just a force for the people, but a service with the people. This requires community engagement. Officers must work hand in hand with local leaders, traditional institutions, and civil society to co-develop security solutions. The community must see the police as partners, not enforcers of distant authority. Training and capacity building modern security challenges require modern solutions. The NPTF is committed to equipping the police with the advanced training in intelligence-led policing, community resolution, and human rights protection. A well-trained police force is more effective and trusted one. Multi-sectoral collaboration. Security is not solely the responsibility of the police. It requires partnerships with government agencies, private sector stakeholders, international allies, and funding model that attracts private sector investment into police infrastructure. With the MPTF, we've been in strategic interventions with the police. We have gone ahead in upgrading police training institutions, such as the Ikeja Police College. We're also looking into Detective College, Oji River in Enugu, and the deployment of states. In conclusion, the Nigerian Police Trust Fund pledges the continued commitment to transforming policing and assisting with the police force. I invite all stakeholders, government agencies, businesses, civil societies, and the public to partner with us in achieving this vision. Together we can secure our nation and unlock its vast economic potentials. May God bless the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Thank you very much.
Thank you. I'm also relieved to let you know that we are done with the goodwill messages. We have just 2 speakers and we'll be done, because I know that time is far spent. Yeah. Let me quickly use the opportunity to thank officers and men of the Nigerian Police Force for keeping us safe. Because if you have survived 2 robbery attacks like I have survived, you know that it has a lot of drama and trauma that goes with it. If you've been in a robbery situation like I have been, sometimes it's so confusing. We were in one, the guys were yelling out instructions. Move, don't move, stay, don't stay, lie down, don't move. What's your name? The woman said Elizabeth. Say, God has saved you. My mother's name is Elizabeth. I won't shoot you. You next, what's your name? He said his name is Michael, but his friends call him Elizabeth. You know, everybody just wants to stay alive by all means necessary. All right, everybody, bring out your money, bring out your money. One was quickly trying to hide the wallet. The armed robber saw him and said, look at you. You Nigerians, you can't be honest. Bring out your money now, you're hiding your wallet. If armed robber shoot you now, you say we are bad people. Are you good people before? You know, it's crazy. And while all that was happening, suddenly they changed their mind. Everybody come down from the bus, come down from the bus, come down from the... Men this side, women this side. We quickly realigned. All the men were here, women were here. But one man was still with the women. They looked at that one and said, what are you doing here? Are you not a man? He said, no be man, no, I be the man, no. If I be man, why my fellow man go to push me around like this? And he had a point. Ladies and gentlemen, we had none of that incident while we were coming in to this wonderful state last night. It was a smooth ride, although we came in late. Thank you to the man who's also working hard to make this state very successful. I'm excited to know that he's doing so well in agro-business, trying to bring in partners who can make this place the #1 source of protein in Nigeria, seeing that your people like meat, urishi, rishi, shakipamwa, and all those things. Ladies and gentlemen, let me invite His Excellency, the Governor of Ogun State, Prince Dr. Dapo Abeokuta, MFR, to talk to us today.
Your Excellency, the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, GCFR, who today is ably represented by His Excellency, the Vice President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, His Excellency, Senator Kashim Shettima, GCON, the Speaker of the Federal House of Representatives, Right Honorable Tajuddin Abbas, is today ably represented by Honorable Maki Yalema, the Chairman, House Committee on Police Affairs. Permit me to recognize all members of the National Assembly that are here present today. The Deputy Chairman, House Committee on Police Affairs, Honorable Wali Ahmed. At this point, let me recognize the host, Inspector General of Police, the man who has brought all of us together this afternoon, Dr. Kayode Egbetokun. I would also like to recognize his brothers have come from other parts of the continent to be part of this auspicious occasion this afternoon. IGP Douglas Kanja Kirofo or Kirocho, I'm sorry if I'm crucifying that name, the IGP of Kenya, and the Rwanda IGP Felix Hamu Horanye. You are all welcome to the capital of the Gateway State, Abeokuta. I would like to recognize all members of the Force Management Team. Permit me to use DIG Bala Chiroma as a point of courtesies to all the other 7 DIGs and AIG that comprise the Force Management Team. I'd like to also warmly welcome the EFCC Chairman, Mr. Olanikbekun Olukayode Olukoyede. I'm sure you can see the connection between him and IGP. Olukayode Egbetokun Olukayode Olukoyede. So if the police is your friend, the EFCC is definitely your friend. The Chairman of the National Sports Commission, Honorable Shehu Diko, you are also warmly recognized. The Chairman of the Police Service Commission, DIG Hashimu Agungu, retired, ably represented by my brother, DIG Taiwo Lakano. You're also ably recognized. We want to appreciate all other law enforcement agency heads and all paramilitary agency heads are here today. The Managing Director, NDDC, we also thank you on your maiden visit to Ogun State, Dr. Samuel Obuku, and those very kind remarks to the Nigerian police. All DIGs, all AIGs that are here present, you are all warmly welcome and recognized. I'll use Mr. Tokumo Talabi, the Secretary of State Government, as a point of courtesy to all members of this Ogun State Executive Council that are here today. The National Chairman, PCRC, Mogaji Olani Ibrahim, you are also appreciated. All other distinguished guests, all senior police officers across the country that are here present today, you're all appreciated. Gentlemen of the press and gentlemen, on behalf of the entire government and the good people of Ogun State, I'd like to extend warmest and special regards to the President and Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, His Excellency Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, GCFR, who today is well represented by His Excellency Senator Kashim Shettima, GCON, the Vice President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Your Excellency, your visionary leadership and unwavering commitment to peace, security, and national prosperity continue to serve as an inspiration to us all. We deeply appreciate your dedication and are profoundly grateful for your efforts in advancing the well-being of our nation over the past 2 years. In the same vein, I extend my sincere appreciation to our illustrious son, in whom we are well pleased and proud of, Inspector General of Police, Kayode Egbetokun, particularly for all the hard work you have done since assumption of office. We also want to thank you for choosing and showcasing your state as a venue for this conference. I would like to thank the entire Nigerian police force for their relentless dedication to safeguarding lives and property across the state. Again, I welcome the Inspector Generals of Police of Kenya and Rwanda. Your presence, without a doubt, demonstrates and emphasizes regional cooperation and collaboration. I equally welcome the EFCC Chairman, the NDDC Chairman, the Chairman of the Nigerian Sports Commission, the Chairman House Committee on Police Affairs, and all other eminent and distinguished guests, and also commend the organizers of this event for the success of this year, 2024, holding in 2025 CASPO Conference and Retreat. Security is the cornerstone of any thriving society. As Kofi Annan, former United Nations Secretary General, once said, and I quote, "Security is not just about armed forces or law enforcement. It is about access to justice, economic opportunity, and dignity for all citizens," unquote. This underscores the reality that a secure society is one where every citizen feels safe, feels valued, and feels protected. We must recognize that security and economic development are intertwined. A safe environment attracts investment, promotes job creation, and drives sustainable economic progress. The theme of this conference, which is improving Nigeria's internal security and economic prosperity through inclusive policing, is both timely and essential. Inclusive policing is about recognizing the unique needs of our communities and fostering trust and collaboration between law enforcement agencies and the people they serve. As Sir Robert Peel, the founder of modern policing, famously stated, and I quote, "The police are the public and the public are the police," unquote. A policing system that actively engages with local communities, upholds human rights, and prioritizes transparency, which will foster greater public trust, cooperation, and overall effectiveness. Strong collaboration between law enforcement and citizens is essential in combating crime and ensuring lasting peace. For us in Ogun State, security remains a top priority as we are the industrial capital of this nation. We are the only neighbor that Lagos has. At the last count, we envisage that every day, at least 2 million people drive through Ogun State or go between Ogun State and Lagos State every day. So you now understand why for us security is extremely important. Administration has consistently supported the Nigerian police and other security agencies through strategic partnerships, and we have continued to invest in modern security infrastructure and technology. We continue to work hand in gloves with the police in strengthening community policing initiatives. We understand that security is a shared responsibility, and we have worked to strengthen this synergy between law enforcement and our local communities. Our Building Our Future Together agenda emphasizes the role of security in achieving sustainable economic growth. A major challenge in security management is a lack of public trust with law enforcement agencies. This must change. We must build a policing system where every Nigerian, regardless of background, believes that law enforcement agents are their friend and are there to protect them, not to oppress them. As Professor David Bailey, a global security expert, once said, effective policing is not about fear and control, but about fairness, integrity, and public confidence, unquote. To this end, law enforcement officers must uphold the highest standards of professionalism, ethical conduct, and accountability. A police force that earns public trust will find citizens willing to provide intelligence, report crimes, and actively participate in security efforts. In line with our commitment to strengthen security, Ogun State has taken some very bold steps, which amongst others include reconstituting and revigorating our securities trust fund, which we have done now in collaboration with the private sector. We have funded the procurement of hundreds of patrol vehicles, motorcycles, and APCs. We are soon going to be giving our Nigerian policemen electric motorcycles so they don't have to rely on petrol to fund the motorcycles. We continue to implement community-based security initiatives for crime control at the grassroots. These initiatives are already yielding positive results. We remain committed to doing more to ensure that Ogun State remains the safest and most prosperous state in Nigeria. As crime becomes more sophisticated, security forces must evolve. We must integrate technology-driven solutions such as surveillance drones for monitoring high-risk, vast areas, particularly for timely emergency response. I was discussing with the IGP earlier on that in Ogun State, we are collaborating with a French company to provide us with drones that can provide facial recognition and number plate recognition from as high as 8,000 meters. We'll soon be deploying these drones. We've also provided data-driven crime mapping capabilities to predict and prevent criminal activities. We should also ensure that we begin to look at artificial intelligence so that this can allow us to ensure that we are proactive. Digital forensic tools to track cybercrime and financial fraud, of course, are things that must be embraced. All these will allow our law enforcement agencies to stay ahead of criminals and enhance national security. As we deliberate today on improving internal security and economic prosperity, let us remember that security is a collective responsibility. Government, law enforcement, the private sector, and our citizens must work together. Policing must be professional, must be fair, must be people-oriented to build lasting trust. There is a nexus, as has been said over and over again today, between provision of adequate security, investment promotion, job creation, a safer nation, and economic prosperity. This conference presents a valuable platform for robust discussions, cross-fertilization of ideas, policy recommendations, and strategic collaborations. I'm confident that the deliberations here will shape policies that will further strengthen Nigeria's security architecture and contribute to national economic prosperity. Let me once again express our profound gratitude to President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, GCFR, ably represented today by His Excellency Senator Kashim Shettima, GCON, for his leadership in prioritizing security as a key driver of national development. I also like to extend my sincere appreciation to the Inspector General of Police, Dr. Kayode Abeokuta, and the entire Nigerian police force for their commitment to protecting lives and property. To all our senior police officers, security stakeholders, distinguished guests, I commend and thank you for your dedication to this noble cause. Let us continue to work together to build a Nigeria where peace, justice, and prosperity prevail. I wish you happy deliberations and thank you for listening to me. God bless you all.
Very emphatically ending his presentation there, our chief host, the very amiable governor of Ogun State, His Excellency Prince Dapo Abeokuta, CON. Can we please give him another round of applause, ladies and gentlemen? Your Excellency, I believe you're a very good host. You're hosting the Nigeria Police because we hear that in a matter of weeks, you'll be hosting practically the entire country at the National Sports Festival, which is coming to Abeokuta. This has been made known to us by the chairman of the National Sports Commission, Malam Shehu Diko, who is also here with us. Can we please put our hands together and welcome Malam Shehu Diko? Thank you very much. Your Excellencies, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, we've come to the high point of this event. In April of last year, 2024, at the Congress Hall of Transcorp Hilton Hotels, the Nigeria Police Force, under the leadership of IGP Kayode Abeokuta, did something which no other organization had done, at least as at that time in the Nigeria Police. It was the maiden edition of Nigeria Police Awards and Recognitions. His Excellency the Vice President, one more time, was there sitting in literally for the President. And he saw officers rank and file of the Nigeria Police from practically all the commands in this country recognized for their courage, for their day-to-day contribution to the security of this country. It's an event which had not been held before, and of course I think it will be an enduring legacy of the tenure of Dr. Kayode Abeokuta as IGP. At that event, Mr. Vice President gave a speech which he called Courage Under Fire, a very inspirational tribute to the work that these men and women of the Nigeria Police do every day, presenting a bouquet, as it were, to them. He spoke from his heart, and I think it is a testimony to how close he holds the police in his heart. It is therefore with a lot of joy in our hearts that we invite him at this point in his capacity as the representative of the President and Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, GCFR, to give a speech on this occasion. Ladies and gentlemen, please make welcome and put your hands together for His Excellency the Vice President, Senator Kashim Shettima, GCON.
Please kindly sit down, please. Please. Your Excellency, the Governor of Ogun State, my friend Prince Dapo Olusegun Abiodun, and the Deputy Governor of Ogun, Right Honorable Maki Yaleman, and other members of the National Assembly present here. Our host Inspector General of Police, Dr. Kayode Abeokuta, and his counterparts from Kenya, Namuhoranye. I would like to use DIG Balachuroma as my point of reference to recognize and appreciate the police management team and all the senior police officers present here. The Executive Chairman of the EFCC, Olanipekun Olukoyede, the Managing Director of NDDC, Dr. Sami Okbuku, of the NSC, Shehu Diko, of the Police Trust Fund, Mohamed Shaidu, representatives of service chiefs, and that of the Chairman of the Police Service Commission, members of the Ogun State Executive and Security Councils present here, other senior guests, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. Distinguished senior officers, esteemed guests, and security experts worldwide, it is a privilege to address you at the 5th Annual Strategic Security Conference and Retreat for Senior Police Officers. The timing of this gathering is crucial and commendable as we advance our administration's goals. The theme of this conference, improving Nigeria's internal security and economic prosperity through inclusive policing, aligns seamlessly with our administration's core objectives. We are committed to fostering economic growth by leveraging the vast potential of our human and natural resources. However, this vision is unattainable without a stable internal security landscape and strong stakeholder collaboration. Since 2023, we have embarked on bold and decisive reforms to address the deep-rooted challenges stemming from years of mismanagement and neglect. These challenges span various sectors and impact internal security, food security, unemployment, inflation, and infrastructure. While some reforms may initially be challenging, they are vital to realigning our nation with the vision of our founding fathers. We have introduced reforms to restore investor confidence, stabilize the macroeconomic environment, and reduce inflation. We are also taking prime measures to instill fiscal discipline, stabilize the foreign exchange market, and eliminate financial leakages by removing fuel and electricity subsidies. These efforts free up critical budgetary resources, enabling us to address long-standing infrastructure deficits. We are investing in roads, railways, and energy projects through public-private partnerships, which will lower transportation costs, expand market access, boost productivity, and create much-needed jobs. Our heart goes out to all Nigerians. The President emphasizes with the challenges we are facing. But be rest assured that no matter how long the night is, it must give way to the light of the dawn. Nigeria shall prosper once again. But internal security is fundamental for creating an environment where businesses and investments flourish. Recognizing this, our administration has prioritized strengthening our security agencies and their operational capabilities, ensuring that they are well equipped to confront emerging threats and effectively combat crime. I reaffirm our administration's commitment to enhancing the institutional capacity of the Nigeria Police Force, ensuring it is more effective and well positioned to fulfill its constitutional mandate as the lead agency in internal security. Inclusive policing requires recruiting and retaining a competent workforce while fostering a positive and supportive work environment. To this end, we are working to bridge existing security infrastructure and equipment gaps through a comprehensive and sustainable program that includes renovating police barracks, improving mobility, and upgrading essential combat and protective gear. These ongoing efforts, complemented by efforts from state governments like those of Ogun State, will certainly inspire confidence and reposition the Nigerian police force. Implementing the new minimum wage is among the many steps we have taken to enhance the welfare of Nigerian workers, including police personnel. We will continue collaborating with the police leadership to provide financial incentives to motivate officers and all security personnel to perform at their highest levels. While no remuneration can truly compensate for the sacrifices made by our security forces, we remain committed to supporting them in their crucial role of keeping Nigeria safe and united. Your Excellencies, distinguished guests, while the Nigeria Police Force is constitutionally empowered to maintain internal security, protect lives and property, and uphold public order, it is essential to recognize that security is a shared responsibility. Communities and citizens must actively collaborate with the police to foster a safer society. No matter how well funded, no matter how well equipped, or well trained a police force is, it cannot succeed without the cooperation of the people it serves. Public engagement and trust are central to the process of inclusive policing. During my visit to the Office of the National Security Advisor and the National Counterterrorism Center in Abuja, I stressed the importance of interagency cooperation in tackling security challenges. Synergy among all security agencies is vital to eliminating banditry, kidnapping, armed robbery, and other forms of criminality. Please, dedicate a significant portion of your deliberations to advancing strategies for multi-agency collaboration. Your Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, it is my singular honor and privilege on behalf of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, GCFR, to open this conference officially. I wish you all productive discussions and meaningful outcomes. And for our friends from Kenya and Rwanda, we are wishing you a very safe passage back home. Thank you, and God bless us.
Thank you very much, Mr. Vice President. We'll kindly request Your Excellency that you join us to take group photographs. Yes, Mr. Vice President. His Excellency the Governor will join the IGPs, all the people sitting in front all the way. Please join Mr. Vice President on the steps for the group photographs, please. Thank you very much. Yes. His Excellency the Governor to his right, the IGP to his left, the visiting IGPs. Please, you don't need to stand on the first step. You can take the second or the third step. Thank you. I think the steps are so well done that we can accommodate almost everyone with the group photographs. Thank you very much. Please, as much as possible, we want to have a very beautiful photograph of this event. It appears we have more photographers and cameramen than even participants. That means we're going to have enough of these photographs. We thank you very much, Your Excellency, for your presence, for your kind words, for your encouragement, and all of that. Please, policeman, be on standby. We're going to bring this to a close in not too long a time. We thank His Excellency the Vice President. Ladies and gentlemen, may we please rise for the national anthem, please. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. Have yourself a wonderful day. On behalf of OK Bakassi and the Force Public Relations Officer, Assistant Commissioner of Police, Muyiwa Dejobi, my name is Raphael Edem, wishing you the very best and, of course, excellent deliberations in the remaining days of this event. God bless you.